Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Good day, good day, good day. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's live training session. Today is going to be a very insightful session. You guys are going to get some insights into something that I've not even teach our student yet, right? So this is going to be super valuable. For me, this is really, really important topic that many people on LinkedIn don't really talk about. And even if you actually attended any of the LinkedIn training program, people hardly talk about this. I'm going to be talking a lot about word of mouth marketing and how you can actually apply word of mouth marketing into your own LinkedIn strategy. And this is going to be a very interesting topic because a lot of the entrepreneurs always have this misconception and feel that word of mouth marketing is something that comes in organically. You can't plan it out, okay? How do you actually strategize and get your hardcore fans who really like what you're doing to talk about you? Is it possible to facilitate such process? Is it possible for us to actually create a flow for that? In POPCON, we always believe that everything can be facilitated and everything can be strategized and planned out if you do the strategy and start executing based on the plan. I always ask myself, I always wonder, hey, word of mouth, possible? Can we engineer it? Is it possible for us to be able to plan it in such a way that people will actually talk about my brand? People will actually talk about my product and services. Word of mouth is actually one of the most powerful tool in marketing. Because if you think about it, if people start talking about your product, your services, your brand, right? And they do it willingly without you having to pay commission for them, without you actually need to hustle them and say, hey, can you talk about product and brand? They can actually become an advocate to your product and services. For me, I see that the highlights of authority prospecting is when you have people talking about you. That means you have established some form of authority out there. We have a lot of our students, our vendor, our partners, right? So our strategic partners who are consistently talking about us on the LinkedIn platform. I like to figure things out and really understand what is the psychology behind all of this. And I like to give you guys a breakdown of my research in terms of what makes people wants to talk about us. Here's one fundamental thing that a lot of people need to understand. Before you want to really apply this, the first most important thing that you need to have is that your product or the services that you are selling or promoting, it has to be at a certain level where people will be talking about it. So if your product itself and your services is at mediocre level, whatever strategy that you do is not going to work, okay? The least that you need to have is that your product and services needs to be at least, guys, I would say if there is a number that I would put to this, and if you were to compare your product and services to the other competitors that you have out there in the market, it needs to be at least 80% good, okay, at least. I like to put a realistic number to this because I know that there are certain entrepreneurs who are startup. If you really want to make sure that you can really apply word of mouth marketing, your product and services needs to be at least at 80% level in comparison with the other people within the industry. The secret to this, the secret to word of mouth marketing, write this down, guys. Please write this down. Everything starts with happiness. So let me put that up there. Everything starts with happiness. If your clients is happy with you, if your customer is happy with you, if your vendor is happy with you, if your partner is happy with you, if the people that is currently working with you is happy with you, there's a potential and possibility for you to be able to bring your product and services out there in the market. Now, I'm not just talking about the people that you are selling to, yeah? We are talking about the whole entire ecosystem. It could be your vendor, even your staff. If they are not happy with you, they are not going to be talking about you. So we're talking about the whole ecosystem. People who are basically involved, either directly or indirectly involved with you, they need to be happy. So that's the first secret that I want to highlight for tonight. Once we get this fundamental clear, there's a difference between word of mouth marketing and referral marketing. There are certain things in referral marketing that cannot be applied to word of mouth marketing. Some people will say it's the same, what? If I do word of mouth, I will still talk about your product, right? So how is it different? If I have a definition for this, They do it because they just love you, which makes it very powerful. They don't accept any recognition from you. They do it out of their own free will, and they do it because you have made an impact to them. This is even more powerful compared to referral marketing, yeah, because when it comes to referral marketing, when you refer someone, you know behind your head that you are getting certain amount of commission or certain amount of money, okay, or rewards. So there's some form of agenda there, which compared to word of mouth marketing, when your client is doing it, they are doing it out of their own free will. And that makes it super powerful. That's what word of mouth marketing is about, which is about giving people a reason to talk about your stuff. So guys, I want you to notice some of the keywords here, okay? Giving people a reason to talk about your stuff. They're not talking about their stuff, they're talking about you. And our job is to clear the path for them and making it easier for that conversation to take place. So how do you do that? How do you get people to love you? The most important part, the first thing that you need to understand is that everything that you do is the mechanism. But the most important part is that when you want to get people to fall in love with you, it always starts with you first. You are sincerely wanting to support your clients and your customer. Some people, they always think about money and cents first. But in today's world, if you want to really sell to people, you really need to come from the heart. You have to be very sincere with what you do. First fundamental you want to take a look into is that you want to make sure that it comes from your heart. So the rest of it is activities. Like for us, when people come in and sign up to our program, right, we will surprise them. We will send them some gifts. So these are our free gift that we send to our students. They don't realize it when they come in, and then suddenly one day, they just receive this gift in their mailbox from us as a method and also as a way for us to actually appreciate it. We don't just stay at the subpar level. We go beyond that. Maybe you have experienced it before, and it's something that gets you to really like about that particular product and services. So I bought this one set of chairs from SSF because that particular product, they told me that it's like 2 weeks. I will be receiving the product in about 2 weeks' time. But within 1 week later, they called me up and said, hey, your product is ready for you to pick up. Come over. We have already prepared everything for you. Sometimes it can be as simple as that. They don't overpromise, but they overdeliver. So there are many ways on how you can actually get people to fall in love with your product and services. I want you guys to write this down, okay? So there are certain fundamentals about love that will help you in your word of mouth marketing. The first fundamental is this. New love always gets people excited. Let me repeat that again. New love always gets people excited. So what does that mean? Okay. Last time, when you are, I don't know, if those of you who are married and all that, right? Masa awal-awal bercinta, when the first time when you guys are falling in love, wow, everything is also very nice. And the energy of love when you just started is very, very high, right? And you talk about it a lot. So what you can do in the word of mouth marketing is to leverage on that. And what we do is that we always find ways to create activities within our clients and also our students that will get them to be super excited, something that's always new, something that gets them to experience us, and then they will look into it and say, wow, I've never experienced this before. So this is something that we do a lot in our own marketing campaign, where we always find something that's really exciting and they have never experienced it before, and they will keep on talking about it. Like the other day, what we did is that we actually decided to bring our community member to go for an archery day together with us. That gets people excited. And for at least about 1 to 2 weeks, we started to see content on the LinkedIn platform where they talk about that whole particular experience because it's a new experience for them. People always get excited with something that is super new. So this is something that you can always think about when it comes to your own marketing. What are some of the new things that you can always put back into your existing product and services that will get people to be excited and falling in love with your product and services again, or even your brand? So that's fundamental number 1, guys. The second fundamental when it comes to love and marketing, this is love and marketing, okay? Not love in real life, okay? Write this down. Okay, I want you guys to write this down. Love and money don't mix. Let me repeat that again, guys. Love and money don't mix. When you want to do a word of marketing campaign, or you want to engineer it and start planning it out, the last thing that you want to do is to start thinking about an incentive program for them. It will actually backfire. You have to understand, if you are doing a word of mouth marketing, it's a word of mouth marketing. If you're doing a referral program, you're doing a referral program. Don't mix it together. Because here's the thing, if people are falling in love with your product, they don't need all of this other external motivation for them to talk about it. And plus, that monetary thing that you actually give, or the reward that you will give, can actually affect their sincerity when they are trying to talk about your product and services. You need to make sure that when you're doing your word of mouth marketing, make sure you don't mix it with your referral marketing. Because we have to admit it, guys, in Popcorn, we have specifically a referral marketing program as well. But we are super clear about it. When you are doing referrals, then you're doing referrals. But if you're just talking about us, you talk about us. So make sure that you have distinction being put into this. The third thing that you also need to understand, when it comes to making sure that people are in love with your product, services, and brand, understand that this is a lifetime commitment. It's a long-term game. And most of the time, people like to complain about stuff. And when they are so in love with your product and one day they got hurt, they don't like what they're experiencing, the people that is truly in love with you will automatically change to become your biggest hater. So you do not want to do that. Okay? You do not want to have the best person that talks about your product and services to suddenly talk differently about you. So understand this. When it comes to getting people to fall in love with your product and services, that this is a long-term commitment, not just a one-night stand, guys. Remember that this is a continuous effort that you need to put into your long-term strategy of authority prospecting and also authority building. Now that you know the difference between word of mouth marketing and also referral marketing, the question right now is, and this is a discovery that I made, the question that I always ask myself is this: why would people actually share about my product? Why would actually people share about my brand or even my services? What's the motivation behind this? Okay, is there a way for me to be able to get people excited to want to share about me, about our product, about what Popcorn is, right? What's the psychology behind this? Basically, right, guys, there are three fundamental psychology in this, okay? And I want you guys to write this down. Three parts to this, okay? First one is you. Second part is me. And third part is us. You, me, and us. So you refer to you as the person who are providing the service, the brand, the product, the services. So first part, why people want to share about you. We understand this, that the product and services needs to be at a certain level. You might have like one of the product that is not the most superior product, but because they just love you so much, they feel that they can get connected to you, they feel that you give them some form of exclusivity, then they will talk about you. As much as you're just starting and you're like, maybe it's not at par, but you want to be at an aspiration level of wanting to take it to the next level. So you want your product and services to be at the next level. When we started our journey, our product is a totally different product from where we are today. Very different. In fact, when we compare ourselves to some of the people in the market, we look at our product and say, wow, you know what? We might not be able to deliver that product as much as all these other LinkedIn guru out there, but I know that in the next few months, I want to be at that level. When you start to aspire to be like that, you will start to realize that even your people will start to feel that they can get it in the way you do your work. They can get that. And when you have that kind of aspiration, the way you do your work is also going to be very different, because you will go all out in providing the services and also wanting to provide the best for your people. So that's the most important part about you. Okay, guys? If you want people to want to care about you, you need to start caring about them first. So that's number one. They will only share about you once they know that you care and they love you because of that. Fundamental, guys. It always starts with you first. So you need to be at an aspiration level. So everything that you do is always about finding ways to improve things. So number one, why would people tell their friends about you? It always starts with you first, and you need to aspire to deliver your product and services to the next level. The second thing when it comes to word of mouth marketing is the person that you're providing the services. Me. What's in it for me? If I want to share about you, what do I get from this? A lot of people make this mistake. Oh, you know what? I just want to make sure that in order for them to share about me, so I will reward them. Now, guys, there are other intrinsic way that will get people to want to share and talk about you. If you, as the person who are providing the product and services, can make sure that they feel smarter, they feel important, and they are having fun in that process, they will start talking about you. And here's the thing about me, the me part is not just all about clients, it could be a vendor, it could be a partner that you work with, even your staff. Because of what you presented to them, this goes really well for coaches, trainers, if you are in that particular services. When they are in your presence, they feel that they become a better version of themselves. So if they become a better version of themselves, they will start talking about your product and services. If they feel that they are important, they will also start to be talking about you as well. And as they are having fun in that process, they will also talk about it. So make sure that you have these three elements, guys. Smart, important, and fun. What is the last part? The last part is us, so the community members. Another thing that you also want to start looking into engineering your word of mouth marketing is the ability for you to get your clients, your tribe, I will call them their tribe, to feel that they are a part of something bigger. That is something that we do with our community as well. When we work with our clients, we get our clients to feel that they are part of a community. We get them to feel that they are part of something bigger. With our students, they like to call themselves POPCONers. So what I really like about our tribe is that every time when we do our gathering, right, even though when we don't tell them to do this, you will start seeing some of them coming to our gathering session wearing our t-shirts because they feel that they belong to the tribe. And this is something that's really powerful because when you have people doing that, that gets them to feel important and it gets them to be super excited to share about you with all people. So it's not just about sharing on LinkedIn. They will talk about you when they meet people. So this is something that you want to start looking into when you are engineering your word of mouth marketing. This three thing is not just for coaches and trainers. It applies to all product and services. How do you do that? Apple, they are applying the same thing as well. If you notice a lot of Apple users, most of them are hardcore fan. You try to get them to switch to a different phone, they don't want to do it. Companies like Zappos are doing exactly the same thing. So these are just some of the strategies that you do that will get people to want to share about your product and services. It could be an online thing. It can also be an offline thing. Now that I've already talked about why, now the last part of this, I want to talk about the how. I'm going to glance through all of this because this is something that we talk about more in-depth detail in our training program, the 14-week training program that we do. What we're going to be doing with you today is that I'll cover all 5, but I will go into the detail for the first top 3 because part 4 and 5 can be a little bit more technical, so I would need more than 1 hour to talk about it. So what are the 5 T's that you can actually apply when it comes to your word of mouth marketing? The first T is what we call the talker. A lot of people always thought that if I want to find talker, I want to focus on my customer. I want to get my customer or my client to talk about me. Don't have to focus on just the customer and client, guys. The talker can be anyone. I'll give you a simple analogy for this, okay? One of my favorite car, the car that I aspire to want to drive is a Ferrari. I would love to drive a Ferrari one day. I would love to own that car. It's $1 million car. It's a very expensive car. I don't have it. I don't own it. I'm not a customer. I'm not a client of it. I like to talk about it. My favorite Formula One team is a Ferrari team, but it doesn't stop me from wanting to talk about that particular brand. Because why? May not be able to afford it at this time, but I just love the way they do the work. I'm a Manchester United fan. I will watch the show. But at the end of the day, have I actually been to Old Trafford? No. So the talker doesn't necessarily have to be your client, but you want to find people who would want to talk about your product, your services, your brand. And this is something that we do regularly in Popcorn. One of the ways on how we do this is that besides talking to our clients and getting them to be super excited, right? We also collaborate with a lot of other partners as well, potential people that will actually be able to open us up to their own community. And that's what we do consistently in Popcorn. This is one of the ways for us to be able to build our authority prospecting strategy on LinkedIn as well. Sometimes you will see me in talks and conferences where I'll be talking in conferences. I got all of this work because they believe in what I do. So one of the strategies that you want to start looking into is that asking yourself, who are some of the people besides my customer and my clients who can become my advocate? They would want to talk about my product and services. So this is something that you can start thinking about. Who are some of the people that I can find that will be able to talk about my product and services? Second thing that you want to do, you need to give a reason for your audience and also for your people to be able to talk about you. And it has to follow these three criteria. Number one, it has to be something that's easy for them to talk about. And they will continuously remember it and continuously repeat talking about it. It's something that they will always remember. So one of the things that we do frequently in Popcorn is that we do a lot of gathering. We get people to meet up every quarter and we get them to mingle up. We have coffee sessions with them. A lot of people always think that when it comes to marketing, it's always the online part. But how about the offline part? Activities that you can actually arrange to get people to talk about that activity, and they can actually start posting it on any social media platform. They can talk about it on LinkedIn, they can talk about it on Facebook, TikTok, whatever it is. So this is something that we encourage our clients and our students to meet up with one another, because when they meet up with one another, then it becomes a content on its own. The third thing that you want to also do is this. You want to make it easy for them to be able to share, help them to spread. Sometimes what we do during our activities with our students and our clients, with our vendor, we can just directly ask, hey, can you just share this on your platform? Can you help spread this out? Sometimes it's as simple as just asking them to do it. And a lot of the time, they are willing to do it for you because they love you so much. And you want to make it easy for them. In Popcorn, what we do is that we always encourage them to tag us in our Popcorn page because it's easy for them. We get them to also tag us and put a hashtag in Popcorn, and then it helps them to spread it out. So number two, don't just ask them, find a way to make it easy for them to spread it. Another thing that we do, right? Sometimes in our event, we help them to take photos. Okay? We share the photo to them. That's actually making it easy for them to share it in social media, right? Because we are facilitating for them to be able to share the content and use that content for them to start sharing. Guys, simple strategy, right? Very simple strategy. And also, right, another thing that we also love to do with our clients is that we love to help our clients to shine. We promote them. We talk about our clients. If they get results, we talk about the results. We get them super excited. This is one of the many ways to use tools to help spread the word around. So when we do this, it makes it easy for them to be able to talk about your brand, product, and services. So that's number three, guys. The fourth part you want to take a look into is that you need to start engaging and taking part, guys, into all of this conversation. I notice some people, when people share about them, right, they don't even acknowledge them. Don't do that, okay? If people talk about you, these are the two words that you need to start having in your social media vocabulary. You need to start having this. Thank you, I am sorry. Okay, why? Why is thank you and I'm sorry? Because the word thank you, right? Whenever people share about you, it's really important for you to participate in that conversation and engage with them and acknowledge them for sharing about you. It gets them excited because they know that you appreciate what they do. So you got to start doing that. Don't just allow people to share about you and then after that you keep quiet. Second part, I hope it doesn't happen, but it can happen. If you make a mistake and then it's being turned into a post, use the word, I'm sorry. I will get to the bottom of this. Crisis management needs to be handled. You need to manage it, get them to be acknowledged, because when they say something that they don't like, they're concerned about it. So say, I'm sorry about it. I'll find ways on how I can actually overcome that. The fifth part is tracking, right? Now, what you want to do when it comes to tracking, you also need to find a way to have a system in terms of measuring the effectiveness of your word of mouth marketing. And this is something that we actually do to support and also to understand if our marketing campaign is working or not. So again, guys, 5T, find a talker, give something for them to talk about the topics. You need to provide the tool for them to be able to share about it. Make sure that you take part in the engagement and find a way to measure your marketing effort. Have a great week, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you again by next week. Goodbye, guys.